When Wrath of the Lich King launches and you end up in Northrend, there may be some quest areas you get very tempted to skip. This may be because there's lots of people running around or you're continuously getting ganked. There's a handful of quests I want to talk about briefly which you absolutely should not skip. We're going to be talking about each zone in each individual video. Today we're talking about Borean Tundra, so let's not mess about, let's just get straight into it. The first quest you shouldn't miss as Alliance is called Call to Arms. When you actually start at Valiant's Keep in Borean Tundra, you'll go just outside Valiant's Keep and kill some mobs, run backwards and forwards for a bit, and then you'll be sent over to Farshire. This is the first part of the quest line that you're going to want to complete. The first quest starts with actually heading over to Farshire and speaking to Gerald Green, and it ends with a quest called Call to Arms, where you literally just go and ring a bell and then go back and hand in. When you hand in, you're going to have a choice of 3 necklaces. One is Chain of the Tolling Bell, which is stamina, hit, expertise, and attack power. One is Indomitable Choker of Light with intellect, stamina, crit, and spell power. And finally, Pendant of Revolutionary Thought, which is stamina, intellect, hit, and spell power. All 3 of these necks are 138 eye level, so depending on what you was using at the end of TBC, this could potentially be a very, very quick upgrade. And to be fair, it's a fairly easy quest chain as well, which, you know, quick firing quests and getting a lot of XP, so don't skip this. The Horde equivalent quest for this is over on the east side of Borean Tundra shown here on the map, and it's to defeat Prince Valinir and his lieutenants. There's a few pre-quests for this, and it also opens some more quests, and you'll need to get Words of Power done, which is to bring High Priest Nafasat's Scroll, Talotkar's Scroll, and Andarath's Scroll, and you have to bring these scrolls to Chieftain Wintergale at Tornkalay Village. Once you get to the step breaking through, this will give you the same necks as what the Alliance got from ringing that bell in Farshire. The next one, which is Horde specific, is called Return My Remains. There is exactly the same quest rewards from an Alliance quest, which we'll look at in just a second. But this quest is at the northern end of Borean Tundra, just before the entrance to Sholazar Basin, and it starts with Farseer Grimwalker's Spirit. There is a small series of quests here, but once you've been sent to Farseer Grimwalker's Spirit, you know you're on the right track, and once you've completed this quest, you'll be able to get a nice wand with crit and spell power, or a gun if you're a hunter or warrior, rogue, whatever, with stamina and attack power. There's also a ring for casters, but the main reason I wanted this one on the list is because you actually get an idol as a druid where your mangle has a chance to give 55 agility. This will be particularly good if you haven't got very good gear and you haven't got the Badge of Justice idol, for example, from TBC. Same applies for paladins with a Libram, where your judgments increase your critical strike chance. And as a totem for you shamans, your shock spells have a chance to grant you 94 attack power. Now, you absolutely can get better than these from TBC, but if you've gone fresh, or it's an alt, you haven't got that much gear, or whatever, it could be halfway through Wrath of the Lich King. This is a good quest not to miss when you're doing Borean Tundra. The Alliance version of this is called Get Me Out of Here, and it starts with Bonker Togglevault, and it's simply to find him in the cave and escort him out. And this is where all the snowballs are, just north of Fizzcrank's airstrip. Once you've done this, you'll get exactly the same rewards as what we just looked at for the Horde. The next quests I'm just going to fly over, but basically you want to go to Koldara as soon as physically possible and get all of the Koldara quests done. Do not leave Koldara until you've finished every single quest chain, because at the end of most of these quest chains, you will get a quest to go into the Nexus, and all of these give very good rewards. So for example, when you do reading the meters on the Isle of Koldara, it will then lead to postponing the inevitable, where you use the interdimensional refabricator inside the Nexus. This will reward you with some cloth gloves with stamina, intellect, haste, and spell power, some leather gloves with armor pen and attack power with stamina and agility, obviously, some Mal gloves with attack power, int, agility, and stamina, or some plate tanking gloves with defense, hit, strength, and stamina. All of these are 155 eye level, so very likely to be an upgrade over what you're currently using with TBC gear. Still focusing on Koldara, much like the quest we looked at a second ago, where you only had a single quest to do and then the next step leads you into Nexus, this does the same. So when you get secrets of the Ancients to get the Glacial Splinters and the Magic-bound Splinters, this is just from the big tree-like dudes walking around Koldara, you'll then get Quickening to go inside Nexus and get Arcane Splinters, which will reward you with boots this time, still 155 eye level. So you've got spell power, intellect, stamina, spirit, cloth boots. You've got some leather boots with crit and attack power. You've got some Mal boots with mana per 5 and spell power. Some Paladin specific holy boots with crit and spell power. And finally some tanking boots with defense and dodge. So definitely not worth skipping anything on Koldara. Get all the quests done, because there's more. Once you've started doing the Kerastraza quest line, you'll have to collect some mana shards. You'll then have to go to Saragossa's corpse and you'll use a power focus to lure Saragossa. You'll head back to the main camp a couple of times. You'll then go lure Malagos, and finally you'll get Prisoner of War, and this is to go into the Nexus and kill the final boss. It's worth noting here the amount of Worm Rest Accord reputation you're going to get, which you're absolutely going to want to get friendly with all of these reputations anyway, and 40.2k experience. So doing all the quests on Caldara and going into Nexus, absolutely worth it. And for this one, you'll get a cape with haste and attack power and stamina, or spell power, int, stamina and spirit, or a nice intellect, stamina, haste, spell power. And these cloaks, because it's killing the final boss, is actually 159 eye level. Have They No Shame is slightly different for the Alliance and the Horde, but it's to do exactly the same thing. There's just some wording differences in the actual quest text itself, which, let's be honest, none of us are bothered about. But basically, you'll get the quest inside the little shield on Caldara, and it will send you in to go and get Berenarn's Research, which is a book in the hallway before the first boss. Again, given a large amount of experience, and this time some reputation with the Kirintor. And what you'll get is a pair of 155 shoulders, some cloth shoulders with crit, spell power, int and stamina, cured mammoth hide mantle, which is leather shoulders with agility, stamina, crit and attack power, Tundra's Tracker's shoulder guards, which have got attack power and haste, and these are agility and stamina, and finally Tundra pauldrons with strength, stamina, dodge, defense, and some nice block value on your shield. That's all the quests for the Nexus, but absolutely worth making sure you smash Caldara out and doing at least one run in the Nexus, if not for the XP and the rep. The gear is pretty decent as well. When you make your way over to Death's Stand on the east side of Borean Tundra, you'll get a quest called Finding the Phylactery. This will lead eventually to Last Rites, and Last Rites gives some really good gear, but do be aware it is a group quest, so you probably will need some help. But it rewards really, really good weapons like Axe of Frozen Death, which is 138 eye level with hit, crit, strength and stamina. Borean Smasher, which is a very nice fist weapon with attack power and armor pen. Tower of the Infinite Mime with crit, hit and spell power. A nice haste spell power staff with int, spirit and stamina, Fury of the Raging Dragon, which is a nice gun with hit, attack power, agility and stamina, and finally Fang of the Desolate Soul with crit and attack power, so this is a nice rogue dagger, 1.8 speed. It's quite a short quest line, but just for these items, absolutely worth doing. Worth mentioning, that was Alliance only, this is the Horde version. The Horde version's a bit of a long story because it's called Hellscream's Champion, where you'll be sent over to that Thalles village again, because this is right at the end of a few different quest chains, and you'll grab it from Garrosh Hellscream, and then you'll have to go over to that Thalles village again to hand in, and you'll get the same weapons as what we just looked at from Last Rites for the Alliance. The thing is, this has got quite a few quest chains you're going to need to do, so things like the Wondrous Bloodspore, which is just to the east of Warsong Hold, Untold Truths, which actually starts in Warsong Hold, and Hellscream's Vigil, which is just the intro quest, basically to Warsong Hold, and that will lead on to like another 6 or 7 steps. But still, once you've done all of these quests, which you're absolutely going to do anyway because they are all in this general starting area, you will eventually be led over to Thalles village where you'll hand this in and get a really, really nice weapon. The final quest I want to talk about is called the Assassination of Harold Lane, and this is available to both factions, and it starts at Camp Data. So you want to do all the quests at Camp Data if you're an achievement hunter, because there is an achievement called Data's Little Pitter, as in pain in the, yeah. It does suggest 3 players, but you'll absolutely be able to solo this, no problem, but you get a really nice ring quite early on, and to be fair, the quest chain as a whole is a really easy and decent quest chain to complete. But yeah, the rings you'll get is Activist Signet of Blasting, which is stamina, intellect, haste and spell power, Ring of Indignant Rage, which is stamina, hit, crit and attack power, and Band of Wholesome Preservation with crit, mana per 5 and spell power with some intellect on. But all of these are 138 item level, so again a really decent eye level for a blue ring, basically that you'll be able to get at 68, 69. If you was going in there pre-70, you'd be able to get it done pre-70. And that's all the quests that you don't want to miss in Borean Tundra. If you want to see all the other zones, because I will be putting these out periodically between now and Wrath of the Lich King launching, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, it helps more than you know. Check out Rested XP in the pinned comment and roll the outro. There's lots of ways you can support the channel to keep me here putting out World of Warcraft content and covering all future MMOs. Consider joining the channel as a member. You get access to emotes, everyone will know you're a member when you comment on future videos because you get a nice icon next to your name, and you get access to members-only videos, which I'll be putting a lot of on the channel throughout the year. Additionally, there's a Patreon link in the description as well. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you on the next one.